A Hampton Roads mother who lost her daughter to a fatal overdose says people are forgetting about the opioid crisis because of the pandemic. Investigative reporter Chris Horne has her story and shows us the latest innovation for people to get help with recovery. An app.
Diana Mitchell says she has to fight even harder now during the pandemic to keep the spotlight on opioids. Meanwhile, an experienced counselor has come up with a way for people with addiction to get handheld help.
It's a hot mess out here, actually, because everybody's COVID-19, and we're still losing hundreds of people a day to opioids.
Diana Mitchell has been a crusader ever since her daughter Brooke died 3 years ago from cocaine laced with fentanyl. She thought it was heroin. Her mother's trying to keep community and school resources in place.
Where did the money go? Because the money was given to you to use for opioids. Well, now we have to use it for corona. Well, what happens with the people that are using drugs and are trying to get off drugs? Nobody can give me an answer.
There was an epidemic, of opiate epidemic, just prior to the COVID, and it seemed to be forgotten.
Recovery counselor Paul Brethen says not only is COVID drawing attention and funding away from opioids, the pandemic is pushing more people towards substance abuse.
And the number one trigger for people is a sense of loss. So whether it's a loss of job or finances or treatment or a sponsor, that's what they're relapsing over.
Brethen cites a study that found an additional 75,000 Americans could die from suicide or overdose because of COVID. So he and a fellow counselor came up with an app.
It's like a virtual drug and alcohol recovery app with a little character called Sober Buddy.
Sober Buddy gives users of all ages a daily challenge. Brethen calls them little chunks of behavior that promote structure and incremental change. For example, scheduling your day.
Get up in the morning, plan your day from morning till night, because that provides structure for yourself.
Mitchell says she applauds any effort like Sober Buddy that will offer help at a time when help is hard to find, but doubts it would have worked for her daughter Brooke.
She liked that human touch. How do you come across virtually that you really care, and because you can't reach out and hold their hand?
Mitchell says street drugs are still shockingly easy to buy, especially for kids who might be the subject of abuse brought on by the tensions of the pandemic. Meanwhile, the Sober Buddy app has just been available for about 4 or 5 weeks now. We have more information on WAVY.com. Chris Horne, 10 on your side.